Welcome to part two. I'm going to talk about the three biggest mistakes that a lot of people make when they're trying to lose weight. So mistake number one is starvation to metabolic damage. So what is metabolic damage? Better known as starvation mode or scientifically as adaptive thermogenesis. It's the result of the body's attempt to maintain energy balance and prevent starvation. It's caused by prolonged reduction in caloric intake, diet, or caloric expenditure, exercise, or both. So how does it work? I'm just going to move my face across here. So how does it work? So the average, I have to explain a few concepts to you before we proceed. Okay, so the average adult basal metabolic rate is 2,000 calories. So what is basal metabolic rate, or BMR for short? It is the amount of energy the body requires daily to survive. Okay, so this is based on an average adult, and it's determined usually by age, height, weight, gender, and body composition. So which means that an average adult needs to consume 2,000 calories every single day in order for them to survive. So in order for you to lose weight, then you have to engage in caloric deficit, which means you have to consume less than 2,000 calories per day. So which is through a caloric reduction or diet, or you have to increase your caloric expenditure through exercise and movement. And the reverse is applicable for weight gain. So if you want to gain weight, you got to eat more and exercise less. So for every 1 kilo of body weight, it's equivalent to 7,000 calories. So for example, if you want to lose 1 kilo of body weight, you must experience 7,000 calorie deficit over a period of time. So for example, if I want to lose 1 kilo in 1 week, then I'll have to experience a 7,000 calorie deficit over 7 days, or a 1,000 calorie deficit every single day over the next 7 days. So to achieve this, there's a few things we can do. So for example, if my BMR is 2,000 calories a day, and I reduce my caloric intake to 1,500, and I exercise to burn 500 calories, then I would have achieved a 1,000 calorie deficit. Okay? But here's the problem with prolonged calorie deficit. So your body's extremely smart. When it feels like it's starving, when it's going through starvation mode, where you're consistently experiencing caloric deficiency, your body tries to adjust to conserve energy to prolong life. It's a survival mechanism. So for example, if you're experiencing caloric deficiency for 3 to 4 weeks, then your body might drop your BMR by 10%. So instead of requiring 2,000 calories to survive, it will make adjustments so that you can survive on 1,800 calories a day. So the problem now with a lot of people is they continue doing the same thing without knowing that their BMR has reduced. So now that the BMR is 1,800 calories, for example, and you're still eating only 1,500 calories per day, and you're exercising and burning 500 calories a day, it means you are now only experiencing a 700 calorie deficit every single day. So which means that instead of losing 1 kilo in 1 week, which is 7 days, it requires 10 days to lose the same 1 kilo. And the problem is, if you continue this, your body is going to keep adjusting your BMR, and it'll probably drop by another 10%. So your new BMR becomes 1,620. And then if you're continuing doing the same thing, then your caloric deficit drops down to about 600, which means it's going to take you about 11 days, 11 and a half days to lose the same 1 kilogram. So you're following? And the problem is, this is when damage starts occurring, because what most people do, because they don't understand why they've plateaued, so they continue to reduce the calories by eating even less, and they increase their expenditure and they're doing even more exercises. And then if you continue to do that, this is when we're going to start getting, damaged metabolism. So you can see from the graph here, if your starting BMR is 2000 and you keep doing this, you keep reducing your intake and you keep increasing expenditure, and you're not taking a break, then ultimately your BMR is going to drop to a level where it is damaged. It's absolutely damaged, and the damage that you've caused to your metabolism and the recovery is a lot harder than the weight loss itself. So guys, so this is the first mistake that a lot of people make, is they keep reducing the calories. They just keep eating the salads and nothing else, and they keep increasing their exercise because they think this mathematical equation is simple. It is, but they don't understand that they're causing damage to the metabolism while they're doing that. So this is very important for you to understand. And the consequences of metabolic damage includes increased hunger, cravings, and change in energy levels. It will slow down or halt weight loss. It can lead to nervous system dysfunction. It can lead to immune deficiencies, and it can lead to hormone dysfunction as well. So metabolic damage is a serious matter. Okay, so the second biggest mistake that I see a lot of people make is they believe that it requires weight loss requires hours and hours of cardio. Okay, so look, cardio workouts are great for increasing stamina. It is a good workout, running, swimming, etc. They're great exercises, but it's not essential for weight loss because 80% of weight loss results come from nutrition. Okay, so cardio is really good for increasing caloric expenditure. Well, I guess all workouts do, but cardio alone doesn't significantly improve your strength. It doesn't improve muscle gains. It doesn't increase your BMR either. But resistance training, on the other hand, is probably more favorable for weight loss because first of all, it has a higher caloric expenditure to cardio training on an average session. It improves your strength and your stability, which is extremely important as we get older because most elderly people get injured through falls, and that's because they don't have the necessary strength and stability in their body. Strength resistance training increases lean muscle mass, providing a more athletic physique. It makes you look good, makes you feel better. It increases your BMR because more muscle mass means a higher BMR. Because the more muscle you have, the more your body needs to burn, the more energy your body needs to burn. And after a strength training session, metabolism stays elevated for a process which is called excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, or EPOC. And this effect can last up to 48 hours. So what's something that's good for both, best of both worlds? Best of both worlds is what you might have heard before is high intensity interval training, or HIIT. Okay, so this is kind of combining strength training and cardio in one. And the benefits are each session are typically between 30 to 45 minutes, so you don't need to spend hours and hours at the gym. It usually involves functional strength and endurance training, so it's very rounded. It's built to increase lean muscle mass, which provides a athletic physique. It increases your BMR, which again, as I mentioned, the more muscle mass you have, the higher BMR. And it has the same EPOC effect. So guys, mistake number 3 is most people that I speak to, even though they're doing the right exercises, they're having the right nutrition, they're still struggling to see weight loss because they're not looking after the sleep, the stress, and the hydration. And let me explain. So before I actually get into it, you need to understand what's cortisol. Okay, cortisol is a hormone produced by the adrenal gland when the body is under stress, promoting a fight or flight response. It can be caused by increased stress levels, sleep deprivation, and dehydration. And what happens when we have an elevated cortisol level? It spikes up blood sugar level. It increases retention of body fat, usually around the stomach area, the abdomen, because the body believes the body wants quicker access to energy, so it's closer to the organs. It increases our appetite. It increases our cravings of sweet, fatty, and salty foods, and prolonged high levels of cortisol can result in insulin resistance, which can lead to diabetes. So as you can see, you're kind of playing tug of war with yourself if you're not looking after your sleep, your stress, and hydration. Even though you're having good exercise and nutrition, your cortisol level can be working against you. And here are some of the consequences of prolonged sleep deprivation. So if you're consistently sleeping less than 6 hours a night, this can lead to hypertension. It can lead to heart attack and stroke, weight gain, obesity, diabetes, depression, anxiety, mood swings, faulty brain function, brain fog, memory loss, immune system deficiency, decreased fertility, and psychiatric disorders. So, guys, prolonged sleep deprivation is serious matter. And the consequences of poor stress management. And it can lead to mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, and personality disorders. It can lead to cardiovascular disease, including heart disease, high blood pressure, abnormal heart rhythms, heart attacks, and stroke. It can lead to obesity and other eating disorders. For women, you can suffer menstrual problems, sexual dysfunction, such as impotency and premature ejaculation for men, and loss of sexual desires in both men and women. Prolonged poor stress management can lead to skin and hair problems such as acne, eczema, and permanent hair loss. And it could also lead to gastrointestinal problems such as GERD, gastritis, etc., etc. And the consequences of constant dehydration. It can lead to dry or flaky skin, lead to constipation, digestive tract conditions, constant fatigue. It can lead to kidney damage, ongoing muscle weakness, frequent headaches, dizziness. It can increase aging, and it will definitely decrease energy. So just as a fact, just a trivial fact for you guys to know, if you're 5% dehydrated, you've lost 30% in bodily and mental function. Okay, so if you're 5% dehydrated, you've lost 30% in performance. It's very important for you guys to understand this. All right, so here's just a quick exercise. So grab a piece of a piece of paper and a pen, or you can do this on your phone. Okay, so I'll give you a minute to do so. Okay, so once you've got your piece of paper and pen ready, I just want you guys to answer these questions. Okay, is basically just to get a quick assessment on what your current health looks like. Okay, so I want you to answer these questions. How many hours of cardio you do each week? How many resistance training sessions are you doing a week? How many hours of sleep do you get every single day? And please rate your quality of sleep from a scale of 1 to 10. How many days a week do you feel stressed? And please rate your stress level 1 to 10. How many standard drinks of alcohol do you drink a week? How many cups of coffee do you drink every day? And how many glasses of water do you drink every single day? So guys, if once you've completed these answers, I want you to have a look at it and see if any of these are alarming. Okay, if you feel like some of these answers are alarming to you, it means those areas needs addressing and you need to start taking action in correcting some of these. Okay.